to Stock Talk. This is your host, Scott. Hope you had a good week of trading this week. We've had a pretty good week in the portfolio. Made a few trades since the last talk to you. We're going to talk about those trades tonight. Take a look at our portfolio for the week, see how it did for the week, and kind of talk about next week a little bit about what's going on as far as some of our stocks go. And so let's go ahead and jump over to our portfolio and take a look at that right now and see what's going on. All right, so here's the portfolio. As you can see here, the market was up green across the board today. Pretty flat, though. Nothing major going on there. You can see our portfolio is about half and half as far as red and green goes. So let's take a look at that. First one on the list is Tesla. Now, we did sell some of that Tesla in our cash account this week. I did sell that and some MSTR, mainly because I wanted to get the cash to go all in on the NVAX. So that's what we did. And we'll talk about that and why I did that. But so let's take a look at Tesla this week. This week was a pretty good week for them. Now, we'd still have plenty of this in our IRAs, but we did want to get that cash out of it. We made 1.5%. We had it for about 8 days. So got a little CD money in 8 days. Nothing wrong with that. And really wasn't that large of a stake in the cash account either. So it wasn't a whole lot of money. But it is pocketing money, so that was good for the week. We did get to pocket some money. All right, so there you see the nice little trend going there. Let's take a look at the 1 month chart on that. 1 month, it's just kind of sitting there and hadn't done a lot over the last month. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to go ahead and cash that out and try to put it in something that could make some money. And we'll talk about why I thought NVAX was a good one there to put it in. All right, so next on the list is MSTR. Another one that we sold in the cash account, only the cash account. We bought it. I actually bought this one on the 8th, I believe it was. We had it 1 day. So it's 1 day that we had this one, and we did really well on it. We had a 6.63% gain in 1 day. So nothing wrong with that trade at all. A little bit bigger stake than what we had in that Tesla. So it was a decent pocketing of money this week on this one. We've done pretty well for the month, but not quite where we need to be as far as what we're going to pocket. Let's see here. So here it is. Let's take a look at that 5-day chart. It closed green today, so nice 5-day chart on it. You can see here 478 up to 516, but you can see Tuesday we were down this low. So that's when I actually bought this. I think it was this day right here on June the 8th sometime. It was low, and I bought it, and we made 6.63%. So I sold it the next day, which would have been on the 9th. So, yeah, we sold it on Wednesday. Bought it on Tuesday, sold it on Wednesday. Could have held on to it another day, and then could have got this. But we did put our money in Nova. But let's take a look at the month chart on that. See, this one here, it's just kind of all over the place. This is our Bitcoin proxy, more or less. And so as Bitcoin falls and goes up and down, this one does the same thing. And it also kind of plays with the NASDAQ, as we talked about before. But so we're going to hang on to that, see how it does. Hopefully Bitcoin will turn here pretty soon. All right, next on the list is U.S. Steel, and I have not bought any of that, but that sure has been doing well. Let's take a look at that 5-day chart. You can see here it was down to 25.50 not long ago, and now it's all the way up to 28.66. Very good little run there for a week. You know, you could have made about 10, 11%. Not a bad trade. 1 month chart on that one. That's kind of catches me by surprise there. That really pretty flat for the month, but did have a little dip here. So the range may now be, I mean, if you look at this range here, 23.53, that might be a good place if you see that again. All right. So let's go back. And next on the list is HUT MF. And let's take a look at that one. Now, this one yesterday had a real good pop yesterday. Let's see what the news see. The news was yesterday approval to list shares on the NASDAQ. So that really helped it yesterday. But today it talks about this 100 million bought deal unit offering. So that's some dilution, I believe. So what it did, and we'll show the chart here, went up yesterday. That news came out today, and it just took every bit of it away because it's diluting the shares, evidently. So you really didn't get anything out of that news about the NASDAQ, but I think you will. So what we did today is we bought some more. We bought some more of that in one of our IRAs. We bought it for $3.99, so up a little bit on what we bought today. But I still have confidence in this, and you can see how quick that thing can pop. And getting listed on the NASDAQ, that's going to be good for it. It's on the over-the-counter board now, so you want something that's a main, one of the main exchanges is the NASDAQ versus this OTC. So this one will now be able, I would think, to trade in after hours, pre-market, things like that, where it can't do it on that OTC. But just watch the volumes. See the volume here, 5 million shares today even. So that was a pretty good bit of shares. But we're going to watch that one. I think that's a good one to have. As long as Bitcoin goes up, that's going to go up. So, all right, here's the Novavax. That's been the star here lately. No doubt about it. And we did buy some more of that. Like I said, we went all in on the cash account. And I don't suggest anybody ever do that, but I've got a lot of confidence in Novavax. We've got it in our IRAs as well, but I'm actually all Novavax in the cash account right now. So let's take a look at that chart. You can see the trend on this 5-day chart. Let's take a look at the month chart. You can see the trend. We've gone from 119 all the way up to 209. We did the other day. We did hit 213 or so. So not bad. Today we actually went to 211 for a while. You can see here they did have a meeting yesterday, and with the governor, and they were showing their new facilities in Maryland there, and got a little bit of pop out of it yesterday, and then today it kind of sold off a little bit. But one of the things that the CEO said yesterday was that they were going to come out with this news on their P3 test for the U.S. and Mexico next week. So he did say it twice. So hopefully he nails it. I believe the news is going to be good based off of the results of previous tests in some other countries. And so that's one reason I went all in on it. And it's because I feel like we kind of already have the news. I don't expect it to be much different. And the way the CEO talked and one of the other guys talked, it just seems like they may have an idea how that trial went. And, I don't know that for sure, but I mean, it just seems like they have a feeling. And so I kind of based everything off of that. Normally, I would never put all in on a P3 test result. But since we've already had some, I don't really expect it to be much different. And another thing is on this result here, they'll probably be able to talk about some of the variants and how well they did it against some of these variants that's popping up. So that's going to be a big deal. So I expect this one to pop to the 230, 240, possibly even 260 range, depending on what kind of news and how good the news is. There's always a possibility that things can sell on the news, and that's something you'll hear sometimes about stocks selling on the news. So it could be an expectation already built up in the stock, and then when it comes out, people sell on the news because it doesn't really run. So we got to be careful of that too. But I'm going to be closely watching next week and try to be prepared if it does try to sell on the news. Not sure what day they're going to come out with the news. If I had to take my guess, I would say sometime Thursday morning or Thursday after hours, just based off of past history. But who knows? It could be Monday, it could be Tuesday. Who knows? Could be in the middle of the day or after hours. Most of the time, this news type thing comes out either pre-market or aftermarket. I don't know why they do that, but they do. So watch for that, and we'll see how it goes. But that's kind of what I'm going to be looking for next week on this one. Again, it's one that we've seen in the past do these kind of things here. You see, that's a pretty straight up move there from January 28th straight up to February 2nd, and then February another 6 days kept on going. So this thing can get on fire. You can see these here, and that's kind of what I'm looking for. I'm looking for some kind of spike. You see the 260 here. That's where it went last time. And so we're sitting in a good position. I never thought we would get back this high prior to the news, but we did. And that's even better. So I'm thinking we're going to see possibly at least this 240 range here or this 260 range here. So keep your eyes open for that one next week, as long as the news is good. If the news is not good, that's a whole different ball game. So, but I'm counting on it to be good because I'm all in on the cash account. Got a lot on it, so we're gonna be hoping we can get out of that pretty soon. Here's an update just 5 minutes ago. Let's see if we got what we got going on. NVAX says COVID-19 vaccine shows immune response against beta virus variant. That just came out 5 minutes ago. Not showing any kind of nothing big going on there. One thing I like to do, let's go ahead and try to do this while we got you on here. I like to check CNBC because they give you a little volume and stuff. Let's see if we can get in here. NVAX. You can always see the volume a little bit better here in after hours. Let's see if we can see it here. Yeah. So you're only getting like 85 million shares traded in after hours right now. That is not a big deal, so it's nothing to get excited about. Usually when you see some kind of big news in the after hours, you'll see a lot of volume going here, and it's constantly moving. This thing's constantly moving. So this is whatever news that just came out is really not anything big. Let's go back and look at that. These are the type of things I look at when some kind of news comes out. Let's see here. Okay, let's talk about the South Africa clinical trial. It was identified there. Let's see here. Okay. This is really nothing new. I mean, we knew all that, so that's not, we knew it was having some pretty good results on some of those variants, but nothing major going on there. But we're going to see how that goes come next week. So stay tuned for that. All right. SPCE, that's our Virgin Galactic. Let's take a look at that. Okay, so down a little bit today. Let's check the week. Yeah, it did have a pretty decent week. It did come up a little bit. Let's see here. 31 up to 35, so that's a good 10%. Now, it did sell off the last couple of days, but Tuesday or Wednesday, we were really doing well. So, but kind of fell out of favor the last 2 days. I think part of this Reddit crowd gets involved with this because you see the large volume here, and that kind of popped it up there. But this might be one of those they're playing around with. But we're going to hang on to that one. It's been doing pretty good. TLRA, I like the way it's been acting here lately. Also, probably part of that Reddit crowd, same type thing. You see the large volume here, get a good little pop out of it. And as it pulled back this week, I went ahead and bought some. We bought it at, let's see here, TLRA, we bought it up here somewhere around 21.45. And we bought more of that HUT MF at $3.99. So, but we just wanted to go ahead and get some money to work. The markets just keep going up every day, so I hate not having this money to work. And we are deep into the market, about as deep as we've been in a while. We're sitting at about right now about 5 5.77% cash. So deep in the market. No, we haven't been that deep in a long time, and we won't be that deep if Novavax pops next week. We'll get out of a lot of that. Also, we're pretty close on Tesla. I may be getting out of Tesla pretty soon. I don't like the way it's acting. It just doesn't seem to want to do anything. So we'll be watching that one too, and start trying to work and get our cash on the sideline again, and try to coast maybe a few months and take a little breather. But it's hard to do when that thing keeps going up. You want to keep making money. So let's see how that goes. All right. So next on the list is, let's see here. Nikola, last on the list, Nikola. So you can see here, up today, nice little gain today, 4%. And the 5-day chart here, it looks like it's pretty flat for the week. I thought it was doing a little bit better than that. It did have a good day here. But again, it just seems like a pretty flat week. Let's see how the month's gone. Yeah, we've had a good month. So we're not going to argue with that, from 1150 all the way up to 1754, 55. So we're not going to complain about that. That is a pretty good little gain in that shorter period of time. We got a ways to go on that one though. But so here's the deal for next week. We're going to be looking at Novavax really close, all in on the cash account. Watch for the data to come out. Either, I'm thinking probably Thursday sometime, but I hope it's even sooner to give it more time to run during the week. We're going to have our finger on the trigger as far as being ready to sell that if the run stalls. But I sure do want to run it to at least 260 before I start pulling the plug, or 240. I'd love to be able to hold on to the 300 mark, and it could very well do that as well. I think it's going to take those approvals before it gets back up there, and that'll be the next news, and that could be a month or two off. And so what we'll do is, if it runs up to 260 and 240 and stalls, we'll probably start unloading it, and then we'll hold on and hopefully get back in before it makes its next run. And hopefully we're a little bit more patient than we were this time, because we did get in a little bit too early. We could have really got a lot more shares down a lot further, but we bought in too quick. One of the mistakes I made, and it's not hard to do some days, when you buy a lot like I do, a lot meaning a one trade. If you buy it at a high price and it drops $4 or $5, you want to go back in there and buy some more. And I did that about 3 or 4 times on the first day I bought, and that's not a good idea. When it's dropping like that, you probably want to just take a deep breath and wait to see where it's going to stop, because you're buying all those shares and it's going down immediately. So what you could do is, if you had a little bit more patience, and if we'd had another 2 weeks of patience, we could have got it, a good 30% cheaper than what we bought. So lesson learned, and hopefully we can be a little bit more patient. But I never was worried about it, because I knew this thing's got all this news coming, and I believe all this news is going to be good. The facility they were showing off Thursday is going to be a big facility to create vaccines. It's going to have a campus and all this stuff. So, and I've looked on the board, and they are hiring people like crazy. So that's not a company that's in trouble. And so I feel comfortable putting my money there. So that's all we got this week. Hope you have a good weekend, but we'll check back in with you probably Monday evening or so. If not, we'll get with you later on. Okay. All right. Have a great week of trading next week. Thanks. Hey, if you haven't subscribed, don't forget to do that. Click this button right here, and please click that subscribe button and click the like button if you like the videos. Thanks. Bye.